Hi guys, it is Karen, theBubblelush, and it has been a really long time since I have sat on the couch and filmed a vlog. I feel like I am back, what is it, like 2009 in my old apartment. I used to sit on the couch and film vlogs, and it was way back when I started trying to conceive Hannah, so it's kind of fitting to be making this type of vlog and to have flashbacks of way back then because, you know, we're kind of like starting the process of creating baby number 2, right? So this was our third cycle of fertility treatments towards baby number 2. We did a cycle of Femara, 7.5 milligrams, which is what I conceived Hannah at, and I did not respond. So I did another cycle of 7.5 milligrams of Femara, and I did not respond, and that was at Christmas. I went in for that ultrasound and found out that I didn't respond. So we had to wait 2 weeks and then take Femara. I think this is right, maybe this is wrong. Anyways, maybe that was the first cycle. I am so confused. Anyway, we did 2 cycles of Femara and then we started our injectable cycle. It's funny to me to think that I started my period maybe 2/3 of the way into February, so like February 20, well, February is a short month, so anyways, it was like in the 20s. It was a Friday. Somewhere in there. That was cycle day 1, and that seems like a million light years ago, and it kind of was. It was a really, really long cycle. I started out with Follistim, and I slowly increased my dose from 75 units up to 150 units I was taking at the end, and halfway through I started adding Menopur because the follicle growth was so slow, and then it stopped, and then we added Menopur, and then I started having a lot of follicles, and so we triggered after 30 days of shots, and we had an IUI 36 hours after we triggered, and the sample was really good, and so I was in my 2-week wait, and today is you know, day 13, I guess, of the 2-week wait. Tomorrow, on Tuesday, it'll be 2 weeks since my IUI. Now, I am kind of the freak of this community in that I do not test early. I don't start testing 10 days, you know, past ovulation or IUI. I don't even like testing at 11 days. I think with Hannah, I tested at 12 or 13 just because I wanted to prepare myself if it was going to be positive or negative because of Christmas time. This time I did not feel the need to test early. If it was negative, I didn't want to ruin Easter, and if it was positive, it's not like Chris and I got to really spend much time together yesterday, so I just felt like we could wait until Monday and test. Today and test. So yesterday was it was a pretty good day. I woke up early with Hannah, and we had Easter basket before Chris went to work. She opened it up. She was really excited. The thing was, is that all weekend though, ever since Friday actually, I've had the world's worst headache. Just a pounding headache. And today is the first day where it's just kind of a dull roar. It's just kind of annoying little headache in the back of my head, but I mean, all weekend it was really, really bad, and I felt bad for Chris because he would come home and the house would just kind of be a disaster, and I'd be like, I'm sorry. I didn't want to like gripe at Hannah to pick up her toys because every time I got like ticked off, my head just started hurting so bad. So we just had like kind of a lazy weekend, and I didn't get much done, and I felt a lot of like uterine twinges and stuff. I have ever since I triggered. The trigger shot this cycle, because I had, I can barely even remember, I had 2 dominant follicles, 1 on each side, plus I had about 5 mid-range follicles. And in total there was probably 10, I think. They were bigger than 10 millimeters. So my ovaries were decently full, and once I triggered, it was kind of a painful trigger. Not the actual shot itself, but like my ovaries were just kind of on fire, it felt like, afterwards, and I was just really achy, and I knew that it was probably because that was a really big ovulation. There was a lot of stuff going on in there, And so I try not to really get my hopes up because, and you never know what it is. I've never ovulated with multiple follicles that I know of. I've always, at least during all my monitored cycles, I've only produced one follicle, if any. So this was my first experience with multiple follicles, and we just weren't really sure what to think of anything. So the whole 2-week wait, I'm having like lots of little twinges and stuff. They have me on Prometrium, which is a progesterone suppository to try to keep your progesterone levels up to make sure that your lining is nice and healthy. And she told me at the IUI that, like, you know, she wanted me to test on Tuesday, 14 days after the IUI, and that even if it was negative, I might not start my period until I stopped the progesterone. So that's kind of what we had in my mind, that since I was still on progesterone, I wouldn't start my period or anything like that. We would have to test to find out. And sometimes I'm perfectly willing to just wait until I start my period. Having that little stupid little stick tell you that your life is going to change or it's not is, I feel like it's giving so much power to this tiny little stick. So Chris and I decided that we were going to test this morning. He had to be at work at 7, so I was going to wake up early and test it, and we were going to film it because one thing, obviously I loved how I found out about Hannah, and I loved being able to tell Chris with the Christmas present and stuff, but I really wanted this time to be able to find out with him. I thought it was important for us to share that moment together because, especially since this injectable cycle was just really hard on us. It was really, really hard. It was a really hard cycle. A lot of doubt, a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of patience, and a lot of hope. And so it was just a really hard cycle to get through. So Chris and I had it set in stone, like we were gonna test Monday morning. So last night, Sunday night, Chris gets home and I have Easter dinner ready for him, and we have a really nice dinner together, and then we like kind of play out here as a family because he got home at 6 p.m. so it was great. We kind of got to spend the night like hanging out as a family, and then he put Hannah down to sleep about 8:45, and then we came out and we were hanging out in the living room, and he was reading the news, and I was just trying to get in a good headspace. I still had a really bad headache. And finally I just had to look over at him and tell him, like, I started my period today. And he was really upset. I wasn't expecting it, like I said, because I'm still on the progesterone suppositories, and because Sunday was just 12 days past IUI, and I've never had an issue with a short luteal phase. Like, that's never been an issue of mine, so it took me completely by surprise when Hannah and I woke up from our nap. We took a nap together because, like I said, wasn't feeling good, and all I wanted to do was cuddle with my baby. And got up, and Hannah has been doing really good at potty training, and so we sat down and I started my period. And it was really hard to hold it together with Hannah. Before, I felt like she was kind of too young and she wasn't really paying attention, and it was kind of okay if I cried around her, and now she's so sensitive and she gets upset when I'm upset, and so all day long I had to hold it together. And I didn't want to ruin Easter dinner, and so I just kind of tried to ignore it all day, and then I finally had to tell Chris, and it was awful telling him. It was just awful. I felt so bad because he was the one this whole cycle that was like so positive it was going to work, and of course I tried to stay very positive as well, but he never once showed a sign of doubt at all. And so I think it really just kind of, I just kind of like knocked the wind out of his lungs when I told him. He was really sad, and we're all sad. So it was just kind of tough, and I can't even wrap my head around doing it again. You know, like doing another injectable cycle and going through all that. And I know that this time around it's going to be so much easier. But the thing is, we've also looked at our schedule, and our schedule is just crazy in April. It's crazy, and we're not going to be able to do treatments this cycle. There's just no way. He can't take the time, I can't take the time, like it won't work. So we're going to take a month off, which is crazy because we've never taken a break in the middle of treatment. But I think it'll be good, and then we can pick things back up in May. So yeah, we're all just a little shell-shocked and sad. We're just really sad. There is this book. My husband loves the author A.J. Jacobs. He is the guy, he's so crazy. He wrote this book, The Year of Living Biblically, and he's also done, oh, what was that other one? Oh, he read the entire encyclopedia. It was like his quest to become a know-it-all. Oh, what other books did he write? Anyways, he does these like experiments where he does crazy things and then he writes books about them. And his current one, he was on the radio the other day. He did like every single diet imaginable trying to become healthy. And it comes out this week, I think. So my husband was really excited about it. And it got me thinking about this passage in this book. So he's following the Bible as literally as possible. And there is this thing where when a woman is on her period, she's considered impure. And you can't sit on a chair that an impure woman has sat on. And he can't even touch a woman that is impure. So he can't shake his wife's friends unless he knows that they're not on their period. And while his wife is on her period, he can't like touch her at all. He can't kiss her, they can't sleep in the same bed. Like, it's crazy. He follows everything literally. And it's, you know, his whole thing is that he can't pick and choose what he follows from the Bible because it's this experiment. So, but I love how he explains it. He says, avoiding your wife at this time of the month is not misogynistic. It actually has to do with a reverence for life. When a woman has her period, it's like a little death. A potential life has vanished. This is a way of paying respect, like setting Shiva. And I thought, it's been years since I've read this book, and that line has always stuck with me. When she has her period, it's like a little death, a potential life has vanished. And that's just kind of how I feel. Like, I saw that freaking follicle. I saw all of them. And I was there during the IUI. Like, part of me is just like, how is it possible that it didn't work? And I know that there's such a small chance that it works every time. And, you know, I've gone through this before. It took us a lot of cycles, but we had 3 good follicles and 3 IUIs before we conceived Hannah. And so I know that it doesn't work every time, but God, I just felt like this cycle, I paid my dues. It was so much more than I expected, and we did it, and it didn't work. So it's just, we're just a little shell-shocked. So anyways, I wanted to let you guys know what was going on. Obviously my husband just found out last night, so this is the first chance I'm getting to tell you guys. And yeah, I appreciate you guys following my journey, and all the well wishes that you guys have sent me have been really, really, really appreciated and needed. And I thank you guys so much for supporting me, because this was a really, really tough cycle and I needed it, and you guys were there for me, and I love you for it. So I will let you know when I start treatment later, and yeah, it's gonna work eventually. I know it is. It's just, today's a rough day. So I hope you guys all had a wonderful Easter. Hannah had a really, really cute little Easter egg hunt, and I made a video of it, and oh, it was so cute. So she has really helped me get through this because she's just been so fabulous this weekend. Yeah, I'm very lucky to have her. So I will talk to you guys later, and thanks again.